Before bed, Seneca would ask himself three questions. Marcus Aurelius did the same. This 5-minute habit helped them rule empires, survive exile, and die with dignity. Not meditation in the modern sense, not prayer, not journaling for publication. This was something simpler and more powerful, a nightly examination of the self. Seneca described it in his work On Anger. I make use of this opportunity, daily pleading my case at my own court. When the light has been taken away and my wife has fallen silent, aware as she is of my habit, I examine my entire day, going through what I have done and said. I conceal nothing from myself. I pass nothing by. Marcus Aurelius wrote his Meditations, a private journal never meant to be published, as part of this same practice. Not to teach others, but to teach himself. This is the one Stoic habit that changes everything. Evening reflection, 5 minutes, 3 questions, a lifetime of growth. Part 1. The practice. The evening reflection wasn't invented by the Stoics. It came from the Pythagoreans, an ancient Greek philosophical school that preceded Stoicism. The Stoics adopted it, refined it, and made it central to their practice. Seneca learned it from a philosopher named Quintus Sextius, who combined Stoic and Pythagorean teachings. Sextius taught that every night before sleep, a person should review their day like a judge reviewing evidence in court. Not to punish, but to learn. Seneca wrote, I have nothing to fear from my errors when I can say, see that you do not do this anymore. For the moment, I excuse you. The practice had 3 parts, 3 questions asked in sequence. Question 1, what did I do well today? Not to inflate ego, but to recognize progress, to see where virtue was expressed, where character showed through. Seneca emphasized starting with the positive, because self-examination that focuses only on failure becomes self-punishment. And punishment doesn't teach, it only discourages. So the first question looks for evidence of growth, small moments, acts of patience, kindness, courage, or honesty that might otherwise go unnoticed. Question 2, what could I have done better? This is where honesty enters. Not brutal honesty, not shame, but clear-eyed recognition of where action fell short of intention. Seneca wrote, I examine my entire day, going through what I have done and said. Did anger arise when patience was called for? Did fear prevent action that courage demanded? Did comfort win when effort was needed? The goal isn't perfection, it's awareness. Because what remains unconscious remains unchanged. Question 3. What did I learn? This completes the loop. Observation becomes lesson. Lesson becomes wisdom. Wisdom becomes action tomorrow. Marcus Aurelius filled 12 books with these lessons, reminders to himself, principles refined through daily practice, observations about human nature, virtue, mortality, and duty. He never intended anyone to read them, but they survived because they worked, not as philosophy written for an audience, but as philosophy practiced in private. Part 2, why it works. Why does this simple practice have such power? 3 reasons. First, it creates accountability. Seneca compared the evening reflection to appearing in one's own court. Not to be sentenced, but to be honest about the day's actions. When someone knows they'll review their choices before sleep, behavior during the day shifts. Not dramatically, not immediately, but steadily. The mind becomes more attentive, more conscious. The Stoics called this prosouche, attention to one's character and actions in the present, because behavior that will be examined later is behavior that is considered in the present. Second, it enables growth. Marcus Aurelius wrote his meditations over years of military campaigns. Each entry built on the last. Each reflection revealed patterns. Each pattern suggested adjustments. Without reflection, mistakes repeat. The same reactions, the same failures, the same missed opportunities. But when each day is reviewed, patterns emerge, and patterns can be changed. Seneca described this explicitly. He wrote about reacting with anger during a traffic dispute. Ancient Rome had traffic problems too, ranting at another driver. That evening, he recognized the reaction as unnecessary. The next time the same situation arose, he responded differently. Calm, patient, forgiving. One reflection, one adjustment, one better response, multiplied over days, weeks, and years. This is how character is built. Third, it provides closure. The modern mind carries unfinished business. Yesterday's argument, last week's failure, old regrets that resurface without warning. The evening reflection closes the day. It processes what happened, acknowledges it, learns from it, and then releases it. Seneca wrote that after his evening examination, he sleeps better because nothing is left unexamined, nothing hidden, nothing festering in the unconscious. The day is complete. The mind can rest. Part 3, How to Start. So, how is this practiced today? Step 1, choose a time. The Stoics practiced this before sleep. Seneca waited until his wife had fallen silent and the lamp was extinguished. Marcus wrote after his military duties ended. The specific time matters less than consistency. The same time, every night. This builds the habit. Step 2, find a quiet space. Not necessarily solitude like Seneca's wife was in the room, but quiet enough to think, still enough to reflect. No distractions, no phone, no music. Just the mind and the day. Step 3, ask the 3 questions. Write them down or speak them silently. Either works. What did I do well today? Name one thing. It doesn't have to be grand. Small moments count. What could I have done better? Name one thing. Be honest, not harsh, not judgmental, just clear. What did I learn? Connect the first 2. What does the success teach? What does the failure reveal? Write it if that helps. Marcus did, or simply hold it in mind. The point isn't documentation, it's clarity. Step 4, excuse yourself. This is crucial. Seneca wrote, "For the moment, I excuse you." Not permission to repeat the mistake, but refusal to carry guilt into tomorrow. The Stoics were strict about virtue, but kind to themselves about failure, because shame doesn't build character. It paralyzes. So, after reviewing, after learning, comes release. The day is done. Tomorrow is a new opportunity. Step 5, keep it short. Seneca's reflection lasted minutes, not hours. Marcus wrote briefly, a few sentences, sometimes a single observation. 5 minutes is enough, 10 at most, because the power isn't in the length, it's in the consistency, every night, even when tired, even when the day felt perfect or terrible, especially then. Part 4, the long-term effect. What happens when this practice continues? Not for days or weeks, but for years. Marcus Aurelius practiced evening reflection for decades. His meditations span years of his reign, and within them, a transformation is visible. Early entries struggle with the same challenges repeatedly. Later entries show wisdom earned through practice. Not perfection, but progress, steady, measurable, real. The same patterns the Stoics observed 2,000 years ago still hold today. After a month, attention improves. After 3 months, patterns become visible. After a year, character shifts, not dramatically, but noticeably. Reactions that were once automatic become choices. Habits that once controlled behavior become manageable. And over a lifetime, the person who reflects nightly becomes someone who learns from every experience, grows from every failure, and carries less guilt and more wisdom. The practice doesn't guarantee an easy life. Marcus Aurelius faced plague, war, and betrayal. Seneca faced exile and death. But it guarantees something more valuable: a life examined, a life learned from, a life where the same mistakes don't repeat endlessly. Conclusion: the habit that changes everything. 5 minutes. 3 questions. Every night. That's the habit that helped Seneca survive exile and die with dignity. That's the habit that helped Marcus Aurelius rule an empire while maintaining inner peace. That's the habit that turned private journals into wisdom that lasted 2,000 years, not because it's complicated, but because it's consistent. What did I do well today? Recognize progress. What could I have done better? Acknowledge truth. What did I learn? Carry wisdom forward, then excuse, release, sleep. Tomorrow brings another chance, another day to apply what was learned, another evening to reflect. One reflection doesn't change a life, but one reflection every night, for a year, for 10 years, for a lifetime, that changes everything. The Stoic path continues beyond this video. If this one brought you clarity, subscribe and return tomorrow to strengthen the mind again.